Good evening and welcome to my channel Economics Chit Chat. It has been a long time that I got back to you in terms of the stock market. Of course, the IPL season is on and my teams are playing on very well, and it's been quite a good season to see a great game going on. But nevertheless, the market is also not something that is just leaving down like the IPL. Also, it's also pulling up. As I've always been telling you about this factor that market is also trying to bounce back, and yesterday again you saw that we went again about 22,100 in between. Of course, yesterday we saw that there was a dip in the market, but nevertheless the most important point which I want to reiterate for today is that this 22,000 mark is not being untraceable at all. It is not just getting down. The market is not ready to accept the defeat and come down below 22,000. It's trying to retain 22,000 to 22,100 change, and it's trying to move towards 22,200 or 250 plus. Now that's exactly the dilemma that most of the investors are going on in the mind. Now, what will happen if market suddenly falls below 21,800 or 21,500? Now, that is a very big question, yes, and that's a very important question also that we need to think about. But the challenge here, but the fact that remains here is that market is not ready to give up at this particular junction at all. Now, why? Because most of the companies are trying to again make a comeback. The momentum is somewhere coming back, and the bulls are not leaving the trust on the market. So what I would suggest is that yes, please be cautious about this factor that market is not going to be completely bullish. The bearish factor has to be taken into account, no doubts about it. But then the market is not going to lose its confidence, or the market is not just going to drastically fall down. It will try to make a comeback very soon. Now, coming back to the equities, what would be my preferred equity for this week? I'm looking into Shriram Housing Finance for a greater level, possibly. Why? Because Shriram Finance has been going to one of the most performing stocks which I've been seeing, and they're going to be included in the Nifty 50 very soon. There's going to be a rejig that's going to happen post this week. So I'm definitely seeing a lot of inflow coming into this particular share once they get included in the Nifty 50. So Shriram Finance would be one of my top picks for this week, and I would suggest that within this month, in a month's time, definitely Shriram Finance would try to cross 2,500. So I would definitely give you a buy call on Shriram Finance. So please keep this in mind. And the most important thing, and my favorite also, would be HDFC Bank. I would not leave on this. I've been reiterating on this probably the nth time on this video. The HDFC Bank would still continue to outperform, and my target of 1,600 for this quarter remains the same. So please have a close look onto HDFC Bank. These two shares are definitely going to outperform. And I was also talking about Godrej Consumers Limited. I know that's one of the shares which I was seeing and tracking. It made a beautiful comeback of 40 rupees plus. Yesterday it was below 1,200. It has made a momentum and come to 1,240. My call for Godrej consumer products would be about 1,300 within again a month's time. I'm looking into it, so also have an eye on these. These are a couple of picks which I would like to give for this week, so continue having a look into it. The reason being is that the FMCG market is pulling up. The rural demand is also trying to slowly creep in back, so definitely I would give a buy call for Godrej Consumers Limited. So these three stocks is what I am typically looking into it. Please have a close look into it, and never the factor also ABB, one of the most important things, because the the demand for the switch gears and the electrical equipments coming up. So that would be the fourth share which I would like to add up to this particular week altogether. Now, one crucial factor that we need to think about here is that if you look into the bank nifty side, the bank nifty has been making a lot of consolidation movement, and the movement has also been particularly limited. It's just trying to move between 100 to 200 points up and down, and then again it comes down rather altogether. So there needs to be a macro stability factor that we are looking into it. But nevertheless, I'm expecting bank nifty post elections to cross 47,500, which it will definitely do. So please keep a very close tab on bank nifty. I hope and believe that all these facts would help you to be a good investor and create a good asset class for yourself. Thank you once again for joining me today on this video. You have a great day ahead.